Hey, what is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great weekend. I hope y'all are ready for call number 2 as well. I think this one is going to be a pretty good week, and it's going to be challenging for sure. I apologize about the late time. Class went over a little. Well, no, it wasn't class. Actually was cleaning a little bit. A few things got in the way. So if you're watching this recording, I'm going to keep it as dialed in and as direct as I can. And if you have any questions, just let me know, right? Send them over email. We can send them over, Messenger, Voxer app as well. I'll be checking in with you this week just to make sure that everything is going well, see if there are any improvements and what we can do to go past any obstacles, right, and any barriers. So we are in officially week number 1, right? So the first week was all about getting our scheduling right, making sure that everything's good as far as understanding the scheduling of mind body, what we expect out of this process, and by expecting out of this process, right, checking out the healthy lifestyle blueprint and listing out exactly, okay, what am I expecting through this 6 weeks, right, for myself and from the training. Am I ready to change? Am I willing to change? And am I able to change? And then, of course, what changes do you expect to be made over these next few weeks, right? If you have an idea of what's going on, then you'll better be able to do it. One of the worksheets that we had was the 5 whys. And if you remember, the 5 whys were a pretty important thing that we wanted to fill out. The reason being is because it connects what you're doing surface level to what it actually means on a more deep and meaningful level. So the example that's listed, in case you haven't checked it out yet, says, I want to get in better shape, right? So the first why would say, would you want to get in better shape? It's because I want to lose my gut and maybe build some muscle in my upper body, right? Well, why would you want to do that? And then this example says, because they'd want to be able to take their shirt off at the beach. Well, why would you want to be able to take your shirt off at the beach? And he says, because when I look good, I feel good about myself. And when you feel good about yourself, what does that matter? Why? He says, well, when I feel good about myself, I feel more assertive and confident. And then the last why, the last example on this sheet is, why do you want to be more assertive and more confident? And the answer is because I'm more assertive and confident, and I'm in control and better able to get what I want out of my life. So if you see, y'all, your initial reason for joining might have something so much deeper. So it's very important to be able to connect to that, because in these upcoming weeks, the endurance is going to take place, right? Right off the bat, we have this surge of energy because it's something new that we're doing. But we want to keep that energy going all throughout the 3, 4, and 5 weeks, or 5 to 6 weeks. So we have the example there. We went through week number 1. That's all about scheduling classes. This past week, dun 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 dun, I'm curious if y'all did it. The food journaling, right? What I sent over both over the Facebook group and over the email group was a 3-day food journaling log. And what I asked you to do during that time was record 3 consecutive days, right? And I believe we sent that out on Sunday, so that may have included Monday, may not have included Monday. Now, here is the crazy part, with that being said, this was a weird week. We had the tropical storm, we had the crazy hurricane and all that kind of stuff. But I still want you to record that food. Even if you miss this weekend, please go ahead and still record that food. It's not too late to make that up. And the reason being is I'd like to see what exactly you're eating, because when I get to see what you're eating, then we can make those few little adjustments. Like, it might be something as small as having a soft drink a day that's preventing you from losing the weight. And I need to be able to see that so that we can see and work out, okay, what works best and what doesn't work best. Not only that, but it allows you to see what you're doing and what you're eating, right? If you are writing down your food, you may realize, wow, I don't eat breakfast half the time, or when I do eat breakfast, it's in a rush and I don't feel, fulfilled and full. So then I end up having 3 soft drinks later on in the day. Those things matter, and those sequence of events end up causing you to either store more weight or not store more weight, right? So that's the thing that we want to look at, is where are these little imbalances and where are these patterns that we can change in order to make the difference in your body, right? It's just these little things, right? So please go ahead, fill out the 3-day calendar. I'm going to send that again in this next email so that you have it. And if you haven't already, check out the first video too. It's about 18 minutes. It's not too bad. And it's going to let you know what we're doing, why we're doing it, and hopefully motivate you and inspire you a little bit to get it going. Now, with that being said, right, we're still recording our food. We have that all down. This next week, I'm going to have a review for you, right? I'm going to show you what this is. I'm going to have a review for you right here, and if you can check it out. We have week number 1 review. What were your 5 wins from this week? And then we're going to have those written down. How will you improve for your next week? We're going to have that right here. Things I will do to make this next week great. That's going to be your personal life, your work life, your family, your friend, your gym life, and what are you looking forward to this next week. So I'm going to send this to you. I'm going to ask you to fill it out. I'm going to ask you to send it back, one, because I'd like to celebrate with you, but you don't have to post this in the Facebook group. It'd be wonderful if you did so that we can celebrate. And it starts to light a fire, right? When you have this support group going, it starts to light a fire under your butts. And it keeps you going. Believe me, that accountability and that support from a community is crucial, crucial, crucial. So going into the official week 2 here, we have week 2. It's all about week 2's habit is movement. So for most of us, we spend a lot of our time sitting down. Walking lowers your risk we spend a lot of time sitting down, right? Whether it's in our job, whether it's driving, whatever it might be, let's take a look at what human life is actually like, right? And the average human, right? We all have our own differences and whatnot. So if you think about it, we sleep anywhere from, I was talking with somebody today, we sleep anywhere from like 4 to 8 hours, somewhere in that time frame. We wake up, usually we make breakfast, so we're up for a little while, but then we'll sit down to have breakfast, or what we'll do is we'll take food and we'll go straight into the car and we travel to wherever we need to go. For a large percent of the population, now of course this isn't everybody, but for a large percent of the population, we sit down all day. And it's not like we sit down with proper, It's not like we sit down with proper posture. We usually sit down with a slump just like this. Our core is loose, our legs are tight, our back might be tight whenever we try to sit tall, but regardless, it's not proper posture. We maintain this stance, or we're even bent over just like this, and we maintain that for how long? Anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, right, of sedentary movement. When we're done, what do? We get up, we walk a short distance to the car. For a majority of the population, they don't go to the gym, right? They don't exercise. So right when they get home, they have their little bit of dinner, they sit on the couch all day, and then what happens right afterwards? They go back to sleep. Now imagine doing this, right, for one day. It's not too bad. It probably feels pretty good because, well, it's restful. There's not a lot of movement or a lot of energy that's being burned or used, so you can conserve a lot. But imagine a week of that, 2 weeks of that, 2 years of that, 10 years of that. What starts to happen is that you move so slowly, right? You get so many calories in from the food that you're eating, and you're not burning enough calories that are going out, that you start to accumulate body fat, adipose tissue. And with that comes the diseases, right? The diseases. And unfortunately, it results in heart disease. It results in diabetes. It results in, I'm trying to think of something else, like sciatica, right? Back pain, hamstring pain. You have all sorts of obesity-related diseases that come from that. Think about all the medication that people spend money on in order to sustain themselves when exercise and a change of their nutritional behaviors could not only lighten their pocket load, but also their bodies, right? I believe there was a emergency room physician of mine, a client of mine, and he told me on average some of the people that he's talked to spend $300 in medication every month. $300, y'all, imagine that, $300. And a gym membership can be $50. So take the time, invest in yourself, especially with your food. And what we're going to talk about this week, right, is movement. So we spend most of our time sitting down, but here's what happens whenever you move. You lower your risk for disease, you improve your circulation, you boost your memory, there's more mental clarity, you help promote weight loss, mainly fat loss. What's going on, Ms. Brenda? From there, you start to reap the benefits. You aren't experiencing as much pain or inflammation in the joints. You're able to have more energy. You're able to go, what up, Ms. B? You're able to go through your daily living without feeling tired. What the average American day has been, and has been for the last 15 years, I believe, is what the study said, is a tired and sluggish morning in which the person is non-productive. They'll have some type of crash in the afternoon. Usually that's from like a 2 p.m. to a 4 p.m. crash, and it's just a sugar crash. And then in the evening, they'll go back into their normal routine, and then they'll just keep repeating this process over and over. And what we see is how that affects the hormones, and it affects the hormones negatively, y'all. It affects the hormones negatively. And that's usually because of the American diet, which consists mainly of carbohydrates, a very, very low, if any, vegetables, very low in protein, but very high in fats and trans fats, and very high in sugar as well, and that's where the carbohydrates come from. So not only do we have to combat that with our food, which we started to record in the first week, right, but we are now combating that with movement. If you've been coming to the gym, you've combating it for 2 weeks now, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to start implementing that movement into your daily life. Yes, it's so true. So we're going to start with just 5 minutes, right? That's going to be our next habit, is 5 minutes of exercise outside the gym every single day. Now, it doesn't matter to me if that's a 5-minute walk, if that's a 5-minute stretch. It doesn't matter to me if that is going outside right when you finish at the gym and you go for a walk up and down the sidewalks right there. It doesn't matter, as long as you do just a little bit extra outside of the gym. And that's going to be for every day. Now, as far as stretching is concerned, yes. As far as stretching is concerned, I mentioned a few different exercises that you could do. We could have you go for stretching. We could have you go for, swimming. We can go for a walk. We can go for hiking. We can go for rock climbing if you're about that. You can take somebody else with you, a spouse. You can go for a walk with your dog as well if you have a pet. There are quite a few different options. And what I want to do is I want to make this as streamlined and as easy for you. So as far as walking goes, check it out. As soon as you step outside of your door, right? So say you're at a step outside, you go for a 5-minute walk, boom, or a 2.5-minute walk out, 2.5-minute walk back, you're done. That is it. That's all you've got to do, right, for 5 extra minutes. As far as stretching is concerned, I'm going to have a stretch routine in the comment box, right? Or on the Facebook page, not in the comment box, but on the Facebook page, and then I'm also going to send it over email, right? You're going to have videos that show you what these stretches are, how to do them, what to feel as you're going through them. And that will be your choice, and I'll check in during the week. So let's review everything that we've gone over so far, right? First and foremost is scheduling your workouts is the most important thing, right? Because what you schedule gets done. With that, we went into the healthy lifestyle blueprint, and we went over what 42%, right? Because 6 weeks times 7, 42% better looks to you. 46, oh my gosh. 42 days, 42% better looks like to you. What is your why, right? And if you add the 5 whys to it, what is the purpose behind what you're doing? From there, we went into week 1, right? Yes. Week 1, which was all about recording your food for the week. I want you to please send that to me, or you can turn that into me, right? Print it and then turn it into me at the gym one day this week. We're going to actually be doing that again this week. And then from there, we talked about movement, where we're going to add 5 extra minutes of working out to your regimen from here. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I think we covered everything. I got a few results from our members, right? I think Miss Jana said, well, we calculated Jana is down like 5 inches so far, something like that. We had a few people who have lost anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds already, which is awesome, like huge results. But here's the thing is realize too, like the average weight loss and what I'm looking for as far as we go is anywhere from a half a pound to 2 pounds a week, somewhere in that range. If you lose more than that, it's incredible, awesome, hats off, high fives. But what we're looking for is half a pound to 2 pounds a week. And if you can keep that up and keep that consistent, you're doing awesome. So fill out those food journals. Please send them off to me. Start stretching, start getting your 5 minutes in. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm here. Let's reach out, let's talk, and let's lose this weight. So I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great weekend. You're unstoppable. And for the week, maximum effort. Talk to y'all later.